the things around us, that is, the living and the non-living things. Look around and what do you see? We can see trees, people, different animals like dog, cat, houses. In the sky you can see sun, cloud, maybe moon. So whatever we see in the environment around us is either a living thing or a non-living thing. We already know about the living things and the non-living things. Now let us understand it in more detail. All the living creatures or the organisms breathe like the human beings, dog, fish, etc. But why is it so? It is because the living things need energy to live and grow. The living things breathe oxygen which breaks down the food to produce energy during the respiration process. And how is this energy utilized? The living things use this energy to move, to grow, and also to perform all the activities. All the living things respire, even the microbes like the bacteria. But the non-living things don't respire or breathe. So all the living organisms need food for energy. The green plants, as we know, make their own food during the photosynthesis process, and hence they are called autotrophs. Auto means self and the Greek word troph means nourishment or food. Hence, the green trees are autotrophs, meaning they can make their own food. The animals, including the human beings, depend on the plants directly or indirectly for the food. Hence, they are called heterotrophs. Hetero means others, so heterotrophs depend on others for food. So, all the living things take in food, but only a part of it is utilized by the body. What happens to the rest? Also, our body produces some waste in other life processes. There are several processes that take place inside the body of a living organism, like respiration, digestion, etc. In each process, some waste material is produced. These harmful waste have to be removed from the body. The animals remove these through urine and sweat. Carbon dioxide, which organisms give out during exhalation, is also a waste product. So the living things get rid of these waste by the process which is known as excretion. You know, the living things get rid of these waste by the process which is known as excretion. So the living things not only eat food but also excrete, which is an important characteristics of all the living things. And what about plants? The plants also excrete the carbon dioxide, water, etc. through the stomata in the leaves. But a non-living thing doesn't need any food, nor does it excrete. The living organisms respond to the stimuli. Like when we touch something hot, we withdraw our hand immediately. Withdrawing hand is the response, and what causes a response, that is, touching something hot, is the stimulus. Here, the stimulus is heat. Also, if anyone provokes a stray dog, it starts barking. So, barking is the response to the stimulus of provocation. You know, even plants respond to the stimuli. If you touch the leaf of a mimosa plant, which is also called touch me not, it folds in the response to it. Here, Your touch was the stimulus to which plant responded by closing its leaves. The plants also respond to the sunlight. Generally, they grow towards the sunlight only. In some plants, the flower blooms only in the day. The sunflower follows the sun. That is, the flower keeps its face always towards the sun. Also, in some plants, the leaves open in sunlight and close after the sunset, like in the case of false shamrock. But a non-living thing such as a table would not move or bark when you touch it or bang it or put a hot pot on it. So, a living thing doesn't respond to any stimuli. We all know that the living organisms reproduce to give birth to the organism of its own kind. Like the hen gives birth to chick by laying eggs. Even the microbes like bacteria which cause disease reproduce to increase its number. Hence we can say reproduction is the basic characteristic of all the living things. A robot can move and may also look like a human being, but it doesn't need to eat food as it runs on electricity or on battery. It also doesn't need to breathe like us or the other living organisms. So it's a non-living thing. Hence, a robot cannot give birth to baby robot as only living things can reproduce. We know all the things are made of matter and the matter is made of molecules. But all the living organisms are made of cell, which is the unit of living organism. The number of cells in an organism can be 1, like in the microbes, to many billions, like in human beings. But the important thing to remember is all the living things are made of cells. When a single cellular organism grows, it is the cell which grows in size, like in an amoeba or the bacterium. But when the multicellular organism like us human being, lion, cat, etc. grow, the number of cell also grows in the body as the cells reproduce to make new cells. But the non-living things cannot grow as they are made of just matter and the molecules, but not the cells. So, the non-living things cannot grow like the robot cannot grow. All the living organisms have a limited lifespan and finally all of them die someday. Each living thing follows a cycle by which it comes into the world, grows into an adult, reproduces to give birth to a new organism of its own kind for the next generation and then dies. This amazing cycle is called the life cycle. All the living organisms are not same. A dog differs from the cat. A butterfly differs from all the other insects. There are many kinds of butterflies. They may look different, but their body structure, food habit, and many other things are similar. The group of such similar kind of organisms is known as species. You know, there are about 16 lakh species of animals and about 4 lakh known species of the plants. The members of a species have same body parts, same food habits, etc. And last but not the least, an organism gives birth to the organism of the same species, not of different type. So to sum up what we learned today, there are many characteristics which together differentiate a living thing from a non-living thing. The living things need food for energy and they remove the unutilized food and other waste through excretion. But non-living things don't need food. All the living things respire to get energy from food, but non-living things don't respire. The living things grow, but the non-living things don't grow. All the living things respond to the stimuli. Many living organisms show emotions like anger, joy in response to the stimuli, but non-living things don't respond to the stimuli. The living things are born, then they grow, reproduce, and finally die. It's the wonderful life cycle. Non-living things are neither born nor they die. These are either man-made or made by the nature. They don't grow, they don't reproduce. That's all for now. Bye bye, children.